interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Have you ever wondered why the news plays the same 5 stories again and again? Let me give you a little hint. Brainwashing and repetition is the most basic form of brainwashing. Join me as we look at the news cycle and talk about why the mainstream media is so gutless and afraid to report the truth. Good day and welcome to Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. This is the show where we talk about all the things everybody tries to ignore. You know what they are. And the other show, Troubled Minds, is Aliens, Conspiracy, Paranormal. This is just the news. I mean, this is just plain and simple the news, but the mainstream media has gone and forgot completely how to do it, so somebody's got to step in and take over. So yeah, that's what's going on with this show. That's what's this is a companion piece to the Troubled Minds Radio, which is again Aliens, Conspiracy, Paranormal. I like to call this the coffee show, and the other show is the beer show. So just so we're on the same page here on what's happening. But there's tons of news, like actual news that concerned citizens of the world should actually be talking about and thinking about, right? And unfortunately, as it goes, that's not really the case. At least it's not what's being reported. So, as you know, if you go turn on the mainstream media right now, everybody's talking about Georgia, right? Georgia is the thing. The runoff election in Georgia for the 2 Senate seats, blah, 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 politicizing this, politicizing that, blah, 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 right? The brainwash is heavy, the brainwash is deep, and that's what the mainstream media does. I turned it on for a little bit, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had to actually just turn it off and walk away and look at the other news instead. So, okay, so that's what we do. That's what we do on this show. We do the news. But the news the way it should be done, in my opinion, okay? In our opinion. I'm taking news stories from you guys. I'm taking some news stories that I find, and we're actually talking about what should be important in this world. And so, yeah, like I said, as citizens of this world, we should have a say in that, shouldn't we? And that's what this is all about. So anyway, and notably, transparency is an important thing, so I'm going to put this up, and you guys can call and be part of the show at any time. We had a great call yesterday from Axel that actually set me straight on a particular thing that I was a little bit wrong on the details about, which is perfect. That's exactly why we do this. I don't mind being wrong, guys. The whole point of doing this is because we're allowed to be wrong, and it's not a crime. All right, that's the whole point. And I want to prove that we can help each other get the facts right, and then not hate each other afterward. So, it's basically news without the political cudgel. But if you want to join the show, you can do it this way. 702-957-1037. That's a Las Vegas area code. That's where we're streaming from. TroubledMinds.org is the official website of this podcast and the other. That would be Troubled Minds, of course, and you can join the Discord. The link is right there on top of the website along with the phone number. So there we go. That's the brief and what's happening with the world today, according to the mainstream. And let's see. Often Frozen has redeemed no cursing. All right, so no cursing. No cursing, Michael Strange. All right, here we go. Right on Twitch. Okay, so let's just jump straight to this one. This is reported by the Times of Israel, and again, these are the things that we should probably be talking about, right? These are probably the things that we should be looking at, but of course we're not. We're looking at all the other things because of the mainstream stupid. Okay, Times of Israel reports this: ancient treasures recovered, thousands of stolen antiquities found in major bust. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. The Israel Antiquities Authority on Monday announced the bust of a smuggling network suspected of illegally trafficking in huge quantities of ancient and rare artifacts from several continents. The IAA, that's the Israel Antiquities Authority, said it recovered thousands of spectacular and rare items at 3 warehouses. Yeah. Spectacular and rare at three warehouses in the Tel Aviv metropolitan area in a joint operation with the police and the tax authority. An unspecified number of suspects were detained for questioning. The artifacts were suspected of being stolen from graves in the Mediterranean basin, Africa, and South America. Among the items seized in the raids were ancient coins, gemstones and laden jewelry, parts of statues, painted pottery, and figures of deities from the Roman era, which the IAA said were around 2,000 years old. It also recovered vessels used for worship, parts of sculptures, and other items from the 5th century BCE. The head of the IAA's Antiquities Robbery Prevention Unit hailed the operation as one of the most significant in its history. Quote, any archaeological finding that is detached from its archaeological context that is in the hands of antiquities robbers and sold for lucre, in effect, products a black hole. Okay, this is a bad translation. A black hole in history where it's is what we're working to prevent. Holy smokes. That is a terrible translation. Okay, so anyway, basically they're trying to prevent people from stealing things and selling them on the black market, right? I mean, I think we could probably all agree with that on archaeological sites and the rest of this. I find it interesting, though, that one of the most what would you say, the most popular movies, let's say, of the 20th century was Raiders of the Lost Ark. And wasn't Indiana Jones a glorified grave robber? I mean, sort of, right? Interesting. Just interesting the takes on this stuff, and kind of the what would they call him? The finder of antiquities. I don't know. They had a nice way of putting it. Okay, so anyway, just something to keep an eye on as usual, because spectacular and rare artifacts. So, and of course, this is just like human trafficking, just like the big companies and taxes and all the garbage that's going on in the world over. This is just another one. This is just another terrible thing that is happening, and ancient treasures recovered from basically tomb robbers in the black market. Yeah. So anyway, what's up? I see there, Superbike. Okay, so let's go on to this one. Now this is interesting. This gets to the heart of the conspiracy news here, and you can kind of see this is a fantastic representation of exactly why we do this, because it's the headlines, right? Notice the headlines regarding so we talked about this in the past, maybe I can't remember, last show, the show before, I don't know, they all kind of blend together, but recently we talked about this, the pharmacist who tried to spoil 500 vaccine doses, right? And the headline here from the USA Today reads that, and is admitted conspiracy theorist, police say, right? So, of course, you would expect that he would be the worst type of person, right, in the whole world. Anyway, let's hear what the news is saying. Let's hear what the news is saying about this guy. This pharmacist who tried to spoil the 500 vaccine doses has admitted to being a conspiracy theorist, all right? Now, check out how the news is reporting this, and listen carefully. So there's the headline. We're going to go just a little bit deeper here in just a sec. But listen to what they're saying and how they're saying it.
Hey, Tom, to complicate matters even more, this weird story out of Wisconsin where a pharmacist was accused of trying to destroy hundreds of vaccine doses. A pharmacist. What do we know about that?
Yeah, and he did, and he was in court yesterday virtually. His name is Stephen Brandenburg. The police say that he is an admitted conspiracy theorist and that he took these vials out of the refrigerator because he didn't think that the vaccine was safe. Well, the vials went bad because, of course, you have to keep those vials at a very cold temp. So you had 500 doses that went bad. He's now facing several charges, including 2 felonies.
Yep.
Including 2 felonies. All right, so notice, he's an admitted conspiracy theorist. All right, he admitted this. It's like, I'm telling you, just by saying that right there, that makes you an enemy of the state. Like I said, it's important to note that term is politically charged in a very, very bad way. Both sides agree to hate people that think outside the box. People that think outside the box and outside of those narratives are conspiracy theorists. I'm sorry. That's just what it is. You can frame it any way you want to, but there is a war on independent thought, and it's through terms like this. Now check it out. See what they say and look at the headline. Pharmacist who tried to spoil 500 vaccine doses is admitted conspiracy theorist, police say, right? Because they don't expect you to read this. They don't expect you to go down and actually find out what the details are, right? Of course not. Why would they do that when they can just tell you what it is based on these little clips? But let's scroll down just a little bit here after we've read this. Okay. All right, let's just read a little bit of this, and you'll start to get the gist. The pharmacist suspected of intentionally spoiling 500 doses of COVID-19 vaccine in a Wisconsin hospital because he believed they were unsafe was released from jail Monday after a prosecutor indicated he's not positive the vaccine was actually destroyed. Stephen R. Brandenburg, 46 of Grafton, had concerns the vaccines could change people's DNA, an unfounded claim that has been debunked. His estranged wife said in a divorce record that in early December, he brought her a water purifier and a 30-day food supply because the world was crashing down due to government cyber attacks and power grid shutdowns. Now, okay, look. So he brought his estranged wife a water purifier and a 30-day food supply in December. Okay, remember, December, that's when the lockdowns started again. And, there was a lot of very concerning things happening in December. People were starting to hoard the toilet paper again. Okay, so anyway, that type of behavior is concerning, right? Like if you're thinking ahead, if you're worried about the sustainability of society, even in the short term, you're dangerous. You're dangerous. Okay, so notably, this continues. Last week, she said she no longer felt safe around him, and a court commissioner temporarily ordered the couple's children not to stay with Brandenburg. Okay, so he was arrested last week and had been held on a probable cause statement from Grafton police that he likely committed 2 felonies. Now, this is what they're not telling you, because, of course, they can't smear a conspiracy theorist this way. But hold on. Likely committed 2 felonies. First-degree recklessly endangering safety and criminal damage to property, right? So the big one's the damage to property. All right. Blah, 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 blah. He appeared in court via Zoom. There's a picture of him. Big deal, right? Big deal. All right, but check this out. It gets better. Oh, shit, where is it? I thought I highlighted it. Okay, here we go. Where is it? Oh, damn it. Here we go. Okay, so he was actually released. Notice they said he was released from jail. You know why? Let's see. Where the hell is it? I thought I highlighted it. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 sec here and I'll find it. Let's see. Okay. Okay. It turns out, let's see. It's better if I read it. Instead of paraphrasing here. All right. Instead of the vaccines are first used, scientists, blah, blah. Okay. Today's authorization demonstrates, where is it? There it is. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna have to paraphrase it. I'll find it in a sec. So I'm gonna just go full screen. I'm gonna find this in a sec, and I have to not be posing for the camera here. Okay. The thing is, they basically let him go because let's find this. I can't believe I'm a stammering idiot here. I thought I had it, and now it's gone. But okay. But anyway, what happened was they didn't. They couldn't actually confirm he ruined the vaccines. Like, so basically they're saying that actually he pulled them out of the refrigerator and that they were possibly able to save them. And hold on, let's see. Where was the wording on this? Oh, there we go. Found it. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I thought I did a whole bunch of highlighting on different articles and I didn't do this. Okay, here we go. So the backtrack. Okay. But Ozaukee County District Attorney Adam Garrell told Circuit Judge Paul Malloy that the hospital had walked back some of the information on which police had relied, that the vials in question have not since been destroyed but are still in the hospital's possession and might even still be viable, right? Of course. So you know, look, they buried in this article halfway through a little tiny paragraph, but they talk about this guy being a conspiracy theorist, and they talk about him ruining these vaccines and the rest of this, right? But again, so they haven't even proved he ruined anything, and if he didn't actually ruin anything and they're able to just go, oh shit, what's this stuff, and put it back in the fridge and it's fine, which now appears to be the case since the hospitals walked back the claims, that he's facing a misdemeanor. All right, but still, you notice, like, they jump on a chance to shit on a conspiracy theorist, right? And it's the same thing with the bombing in the Christmas bombing in Nashville. It's the same sort of thing, right? Like, remember the 5G conspiracy because of the AT&T and then the lizard men and I'm telling you guys, there's a war on this. Okay, so what's up there? I see Astral Travel. Thanks for being here. Okay, so you get the point, right? So that was a long-winded, terrible, I couldn't find what I was looking for, a way around it. But you get the point of this is that it doesn't matter. If you think for yourself, you're an enemy. You're an enemy of the state, and you know who tells you so? The media. They tip their hand by their headlines and where they bury this information. And so we heard in the little news clip there that he's dangerous, right? Like he's just he's a self-admitted conspiracy theorist. But then the most important part of this article is they probably saved those doses of the vaccine, and he's probably going to face just a misdemeanor, and that's why they let him out of jail. But that's not what these stories say, right? That's not what they say at all. Anyway, I'm a knucklehead. Sorry for making you wait as I figured that out. All right. If you want to be part of the show, what's your take on this? 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org is the official website, and you can join the Discord and find the phone number there. So anyway, right? You see what I'm saying? There's a concerted effort to basically take out anybody they can label, even in a peripheral manner, a conspiracy theorist, right? So I say admit it. Admit it. Be loud and proud, and don't let them take the term. The term is to me, it means you think critically for yourself, and they can jump off, since I can't swear, since somebody bought no cursing on Twitch. So, okay. All right. Anyway, quick, I rambled through that badly. That was probably the worst news anything I've done in a long time, but that's all right. I'm sure you guys forgive me. It's a track record thing, but here, let's play this real fast as I get my shit together, and we will move on to the next story here. Oh boy. Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us. Yeah, that's it. I think I'm all out of sorts because I couldn't curse. Exactly, these Twitch rules. I tell you what. Okay, so anyway, let's go to The Hill. This is reported by The Hill today. Most of this news is from today. We'll try and keep it as piping hot as possible for you guys, so we're not giving you old news. But check this out. So as we learned yesterday, the Julian Assange extradition is not going to happen. So a judge in the United Kingdom finally somebody had the nuts somewhere to say, nope, we're not gonna send this guy to the slaughterhouse is going to be the United States prisons, and like I can't believe we're talking about the U.S. prisons like they're like Brazilian prisons or something. But and they said they're not going to extradite him. So now they're even talking about maybe releasing him on bail or something. So there's some stuff going on with this. We'll keep an eye on it as it happens. But reported by The Hill here, Mexico prepared to offer Assange asylum. So this is what you need, right? So I wonder if you get enough of these temporary employees that bounce around as leaders of these free countries, or not so free countries as the case may be, that are sympathetic to Assange and will offer him enough actual asylum that he can just kind of hop around country to country for the rest of his life and not ever actually be made to face the charges in the United States. So anyway, right from the article here, Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador said on Monday that he is prepared to offer asylum to WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange. Quote, Assange is a journalist and deserves a chance. I am in favor of pardoning him, Lopez Obrador said during a news conference, Reuters reported. We'll give him protection. I'm going to ask the foreign minister to ask the government of the United Kingdom about the possibility of letting Mr. Assange be freed and for Mexico to offer political asylum, added Lopez Obrador. Reuters reports that the Mexican president praised Assange for revealing the world's authoritarian workings, noting that Lopez Obrador has long sought to break from establishment politics and economics. Earlier Monday, a UK judge denied a request to extradite Assange to the U.S., where he faces espionage charges after published classified military and intelligence documents. So, interesting that different, and I don't think he was the only one. I think there were other leaders of countries that stepped up and wanted to to help him and offer him asylum in different places of the world. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it does turn out well for this guy after all, anyway, which is unfortunate. Fortunate that they want to help him. Unfortunate they're still after him. So let's see. Dolly, what's that says? I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I only got a troubled mind. Yeah, I guess that's the deal, right? We're going to take the term back. And so if we have a troubled mind, that doesn't make us conspiracy theorists, does it? I guess not. Here's more. You guys may have seen this. We talked about this when it happened. And remember the hack, the government hack that was going on for years, they said, for more than a year. So we can't really call it years plural, but we'll call it for a year plus. There was this hack happening, all right? Now, let's see what they had to say. Reported by CNN, the most trusted source of news, of course, the U.S. intelligence agencies say massive hack of American government likely originated in Russia. And where that comes from is directly from our favorite guy, Mike Pompeo, the Secretary of State, who, again, I always like to point out, was the head of the CIA. So here we go. Let's see what he had to say, and straight from the CNN news report.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo says that he believes Russia is behind a massive cyber attack that breached dozens of federal agencies and companies.
Yeah, at least half a dozen federal agencies were targeted. We're talking about Homeland Security's Cybersecurity Division. Also, the Departments of State, Commerce, Agriculture, Energy. Now, investigators are trying to determine what, if any, government data may have been accessed or stolen in the attack.
There was a significant effort to use a piece of third-party software to essentially embed code inside of U.S. government systems, and now appears systems of private companies and governments across the world as well. This was a very significant effort, and I think it's the case that now we can say pretty clearly that it was the Russians that engaged in this activity.
And that was Mike Pompeo. So straight from the horse's mouth, if you want to call him the horse. There it is. Reported by CNN. U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies investigating the massive hacking campaign targeting American government agencies and private sector companies issued a joint statement Tuesday saying the group responsible likely originated in Russia, and the attack is believed to be an act of espionage rather than cyber warfare, as some lawmakers have suggested. While top U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, have previously suggested the hacking campaign was carried out by a Russian-backed group, Tuesday's joint statement offers the most definitive and concrete assessment about the attack's origins from agencies investigating the incident. In short, the statement issued by the Cyber Unified Coordination Group, there's a damn group for everything, isn't there? The UCG, the Cyber Unified Coordination Group, clearly acknowledges what U.S. officials and experts have suspected since the data breach was first disclosed last month. The Advanced Persistent Threat APT actor responsible is likely Russian in origin. That assessment runs counter to what President Donald Trump has said publicly in the week since the data breach first came to light, which, as we know, he said it could be China. We're still looking into it. He didn't know yet. But interesting that Pompeo's now kind of spreading more disinformation himself. It's weird. And I'm not saying it's not Russia. I'm saying that I don't believe the thing that comes out of Pompeo's mouth, because he's just that type of guy, right? Not only is he a lying politician, he also worked for the CIA. So disinformation is his shtick. It's his bag. It's what he loves to do. Or I don't know. I don't know if he loves it, but yeah. Let's see. Superbike says Snowden is the one that deserves a pardon. I don't know about that. I disagree, but we can disagree and be friends. If you want to make a case for that, again, this is an open show. If you want to talk about that and give us a call, I'd love to hear why you think that's the case. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. You can click the Discord link and join the show that way. So all callers, if anybody wants to be part of this, I'd love to hear why you think that, or why you think anything else. Show feedback, you just want to say hello, whatever it is, just transparency, there it is, important thing. Let's continue talking about the news. All right, let's go. Now, this one is really breaking my heart, guys. As reported by Variety.com, due to COVID, the Grammy Awards are going to be postponed. Can you believe this? I don't know what I'm going to do with myself with all these musicians showing up and chastising us for being regular people. I mean, if we skip that this year, I guess I'll have to whip myself or something. I don't know. I guess let's read some of this. The Grammy Awards are being postponed. A rep for the show confirms to Variety. Further details are expected shortly. Sources say the show may be moved to March, although no date was confirmed at the time of this article's publication. Sources tell Variety that a combination of health and travel concerns, and not least the spike in coronavirus cases in the show's planned location of Los Angeles, led to the Recording Academy and its network partner CBS to decide to postpone the show, which is scheduled to be hosted by The Daily Show's Trevor Noah, another funny propagandist, from its originally planned January 31st date. The move is not entirely unexpected, as Variety has heard several confusing reports in recent days around performances scheduled for the show. What are we going to do, guys? We have to wait till March to get our usual lashing from the rich people that drive big luxury vehicles and have private jets, and then tell us we can't drink cold beer and have a warm shower, right? Like, what are we going to do? I think we're going to have to come up with a way all together where we just shame each other for being humans. Let's do that. I think that's the deal, right? For not being super mega rich and just being. We need to do that. I think we need to work on that. Okay, so here we go. Here's another one. And I can't. Astral Travel says sacrifice postponed. There you go. Right. Which is that's a funny take. I like it. Okay, now. This is reported by thefool.com. Fool.com. Note the word fool. It's the Motley Fool, which is again back to the investing world, but they also do news. So FDA opposes diluting coronavirus vaccine doses from Moderna and Pfizer to boost supply. The recent suggestion from the Operation Warp Speed Task Force has been rejected due to a lack of clinical evidence. Now, okay, does that sound like a good idea to you guys? Okay, so here's the vaccine. So we're going to make sure more people get it, and as a result, we're going to give everybody half as much. All right. Let's think about that. On Monday evening, Dr. Stephen M. Hahn, director of the Food and Drug Administration, and Dr. Peter Marks, the director of the FDA's Center for Biologics Evaluation and Research, again, a organization for everything, an acronym for everything, the CBER, the Biologics Evaluation and Research Center, rejected a proposal from the U.S. government's Operation Warp Speed to dilute the current supply of coronavirus vaccines in order to boost supply. During an interview on Sunday, Operation Warp Speed's chief doctor, Dr. Monsef Slaoui, said his task force and Moderna were in talks with the FDA about implementing the idea. Well, anybody up for half a dose? There may be signs of effectiveness at half the dosage tested in trials leading to emergency use authorization of vaccines from Moderna and Pfizer, but the companies didn't test those dosages specifically. Generally speaking, the immune responses seen in blood samples from people who have received half-sized dosages fall in line with immune responses produced by the authorized dose. While the FDA might be willing to use biomarker data to approve new seasonal flu vaccines, the virus responsible for COVID-19 isn't nearly as well understood. Yeah. Anybody up for half of one? I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see. Yes. Okay. There's that. Astral Travel says funny. They just ordered 150 million body bags. They keep doing that apparently. That's what I keep hearing from the folks on Twitter, which all those folks have been banned on Twitter now, by the way. I don't hear that stuff anymore. But yeah, I did hear that the government has purchased a huge amount of body bags. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what all that means exactly. Okay, so if you guys want to tell me what that means, I'd love to hear it. 702-957-1037, troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link at the website, and you can also find the phone number there. Okay, so with that said, let's take a quick break. You guys know how it goes when we're doing a break live. It's almost like we didn't take a break at all. So you're listening to Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. We will be right back. All right, welcome back. That lengthy break. Now we're going to talk some more news. We were talking about the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine and some other stuff. I think we need to get to this. Now, this is pretty interesting. This is by a piece written in the debrief.org by Lieutenant Tim McMillan. Okay, he was a police officer and is now turned into a pretty damn good journalist, actually, in my opinion. So this is a long one. So I encourage you guys to read this. I'm linking it. Of course, these links will be in the podcast and on YouTube and everywhere else. So you can find this easily, and I encourage you to read it because it's a pretty damn good read, and it's regarding the Nashville bombing. And the headline is the Nashville bombing, an in-depth analysis of this bizarre event. And as we all know, we talked about this quite a lot when it happened. We had an entire show on it. We talked about it kind of as it clunked out a little bit afterward, but we haven't really followed up on maybe some of these theories of why this individual may have killed himself and done it in such a bizarre way. But anyway, so here we go. Let's just get into this. And Now, let me just spin through this and you guys can see. This is how you write a report and make theories and suggestions, and, it's a 24-minute read. Like, there's photographs, there's videos, there's evidence, and he took all this from public reports, so it's not like he has any kind of insight or anything. He just took what the press was reporting and used it and kind of looked at some of the things. Now he speculated this. I thought this was pretty interesting. We were talking about what kind of bomb it might have been when this first happened, right? If it was going to be what is the sodium pentothal or I don't know. Like I said, bomb making is not my thing. So if you want that kind of advice, I hope you don't, but don't ask me because I have no freaking idea. But anyway, this guy, again, he worked in law enforcement for over a decade, and he was looking at some of this, and this is what he talked about, the explosion itself. Now, this is pretty interesting. Straight from the article. The initial explosion results in an extremely bright fireball that burns reasonably evenly at the ignition point and rapidly dissipates without much smoke or vaporization. Within roughly 4 seconds, the fireball has largely been consumed. At approximately 20 seconds post-explosion, the ambient scene mostly returns to a pre-blast state outside of a lingering haze. My overwhelming opinion based on the video is that a fuel-based explosive was used instead of other compounds like TNT, black powder, or ammonium nitrate. I think that's what I was looking for. Yet, when considering fuel-based explosives, hydrocarbons such as gasoline or kerosene can be largely ruled out. Had the device used gasoline, we would have seen large quantities of dark soot and carbon monoxide produced during burn-off. Kerosene, on the other hand, is frequently used by the entertainment industry for fire performances and special effects because it can produce dramatic fireballs and at low flame temperature that burns very quickly and cleanly. See, again, talking about very specifics here about how particular bombs happen, how much fire and smoke is left behind. Pretty good stuff, pretty good analysis, right? Like actually citing some things they use it for, like kerosene or some of these other things. So he continues. There's no evidence in the video that that a fuel such as kerosene was used. However, because we don't see the ejection of liquid fuel at initial detonation, had a hydrocarbon been used, we would have seen bits of flaming liquid fuel scattered about the scene and causing a series of small fires, which of course we've seen that. You see it in explosions all the time where something explodes and there's like the little burning pieces of everything everywhere, right? Because the fuel sticks to it. So it leads him to believe it's something else. And you can see in the photograph here kind of what he's getting at. But read just a little bit more here. So a byproduct of natural gas processing and petroleum refining, propane has a low boiling point, causing it to vaporize when released from a pressurized container. When ignited, propane gas can produce extreme heat to the tune of 2,000 to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. And so in the Nashville bombing video, the coloring of the fireball ranges from bright orange to white, indicating the temperature at the point of ignition was indeed somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So again, right? So back to the article, the Nashville bombing, an in-depth look at this, and so not only is he talking about what type of bomb it may have been, how he may have, he actually doesn't go into how he may have put this together because of course giving people or randos on the internet information on how to make bombs is not typically a good idea. So he doesn't do that. He stops short of that. But he's saying that he probably made a propane bomb, and that's probably what we're looking at here. Now, so not only that, he also gets into some of the motive and some of the other interesting things that kind of come of this. So let's just, and again, right? So describing how particular different explosions, many with different materials, actually affect buildings and these sorts of things. So he, and some of the blast damage that you would expect from different types of bombs, TNT or otherwise. So he's got some, some actual evidence here where he's trying to compare what he saw versus what some other instances. Okay, so pretty good stuff. Pretty good. Like I said, good thinking about it. There's a photograph of Anthony Warner, who's the supposed bomber, that the suicide bomber, I guess, is what we would call him. But anyway, so who was Anthony Warner? So he goes into that pretty in depth here, which is fantastic. And then this is the interesting part too at the end. So I'm just summing this up because, like I said, this is a 24-minute read, and I think you should, if you're interested in this, kind of see how a former law enforcement professional kind of looks at this from an investigative standpoint, and then writes this piece based on the information we have publicly, which is pretty good stuff. So he actually talks about the conspiracy theory, the 5G broadband conspiracy theory here, and he even kind of writes that off. He says that a lot of the media talked about that, and he says that he doesn't think that was a motive at all. So based on the analysis and explosives used in the bombing, we can make a couple of inferences, which is all here. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to jump to the conclusion. If you guys want to know how he got to this, please read this article. Definitely good stuff. I am a fan of when people actually do good work on the internet, good journalists. And again, notice, if you read this, he doesn't try to politicize it in any way. Can you imagine that? So here we go. The biggest problem with the 5G conspiracy motive comes from the fact that, according to what his ex-girlfriend told police, Warner was building a bomb in his RV as early as August of 2019. This would have been several months before the first case of COVID-19 ever emerged, meaning, at least initially, a 5G plandemic couldn't have been Warner's motive for building a bomb. And he says, putting on my criminal behavior analyst hat, one of many that I wore during my law enforcement career, I'll conclude my analysis by offering an alternative theory for what may have been the motive behind Anthony Warner's Christmas Day bombing. And yeah, I think if you boil it down, sometimes that Occam's razor ends up being simple. So he says, according to the Associated Press, in a conversation less than a week before Christmas, neighbor Rick Loud casually asked Warner, who's the bomber, is Santa going to bring you anything good for Christmas? With a smile, Loud says Warner replied, oh yeah, Nashville and the world is never going to forget me. We now know Warner's reply was a tongue-in-cheek reference to his grisly suicide plans. So Warner conveyed two key points in his response to Loud. First, the idea of being known was something Warner considered important, absent are any references to 5G or shape-shifting reptilians. Instead, we see a man who'd already made the decision to end his life, but rather than quietly dying alone, the man described by his neighbors as a loner wanted his final act to be remembered. So again, there's more. This goes on. There's more analysis and stuff. Do check it out. What do you guys think about that? Do you think it's a little bit out there? Do you think a little bit too basic? And he does talk about suicide in there, which I think is another thing that we should be really have top of mind. Again, that think about it. It's not being politicized, or it can't be easily politicized without being a knucklehead. So they don't do it. But the suicide rates are skyrocketing, right? Because of lockdowns, because of addictions, because of all kinds of things, right? Because of divorces happening, families are busting up. Like, it's bad. This has been a bad time this year, and there's a lot of other underlying issues that people are dealing with that they're not talking about here. People losing homes, people losing jobs, seeing, like, who knows how many years it's going to take to climb out of this and be normal again. There's a lot here. There's a lot of this. But that's what they're saying. At least that's what Tim McMillan says, that he thinks it's just it was a suicide thing, and he wanted to kind of go out. I hate to say it because it seems horrible to say it this way, but go out with a bang. He just kind of wanted to be remembered for something weird, and he did. It was weird. I mean, and not only that, there are also additional reports that said that the initial shots reported that brought the cops down there in the first place were probably now not shots fired, but actual from the loudspeaker that was on top of the RV. So they're saying that it appears that he intentionally got 911 called to come down, had the speakers running, telling people a bomb was going to go off with a countdown, and the cops were able to evacuate, and there was no other actual fatalities as a result of this. So anyway, what do you guys think? If you have alternate takes on this, or you think that this is just somebody kind of shrugging their shoulders and saying this is what it looks like, or whatever. I'm impressed by his work because, again, he's been a pretty stand-up guy. I've been in contact with him on Twitter here and there too, and he seems to be a cool dude. And as you know, if you use Twitter, not everybody on Twitter is a cool dude. But anyway, you want to be on the show, 702-957-1037. Troubledminds.org is the official website. Hop on over there and click the Discord link and join our Discord if you have not yet. And let's go to this one now. Let's go to thehill.com. Now, YouTube briefly suspends Murdoch-backed United Kingdom radio station. No, this is what's happening. Is anybody surprised things like this are happening? So they suspended it. Here we go. I wonder what they said. YouTube mistakenly suspended and then reinstated the channel for a UK radio station backed by billionaire media mogul Rupert Murdoch, a spokesperson for the video platform, confirmed to The Hill on Tuesday. The company said the account for talk radio, which is owned by Murdoch's News Corp, had originally run afoul of YouTube's policies around spreading COVID-19 misinformation. I guess you could say that pretty much about anybody if you want to make that claim, right? You could say that about me, even though I haven't really at all. But kind of calling into question their narratives, that's one way of doing it, right? That's one way of being able to accuse people of this. So anyway, it's unclear what content had triggered the initial suspension. A spokesperson for the YouTube did not respond when asked for further details. Quote, YouTube is making decisions about which opinions the public are allowed to hear, even when they are sourced to responsible and regulated news providers, Talk Radio said in a statement. And notice that. Responsible and regulated news providers. What they really mean is propagandists, state-sponsored and sanctioned propagandists. That's what they really mean to say. But okay, anyway, whatever. All right, so we're going to keep on moving here. We got more. There's a reported by the AP, and this is one, again, that doesn't really get a lot of play in the media, does it? Even though you would expect that this could be highly politicized and they could get away with maybe talking about these things. They don't. Reported by the AP. Child labor in palm oil industry tied to Girl Scout cookies. Yeah, right? Yeah. So here we go. There's a interesting article. This goes a little ways. It's from January 3rd. There are two young girls from two very different worlds, linked by a global industry that exploits an army of children. So Olivia Chaffin, a Girl Scout in rural Tennessee, was a top cookie seller in her troop when she first heard rainforests were being destroyed to make way for ever-expanding palm oil plantations. All right? That's how you get the attention of kids. You tell them we're burning down the rainforests. So then we have more. We have Ema. One of those plantations, a continent away, had a 10-year-old Ema, where she helped harvest the fruit that makes its way into a dizzying array of products sold by leading Western food and cosmetics brands. Ema is is among the estimated tens of thousands of children working alongside their parents in Indonesia and Malaysia, which supply 85% of the world's most consumed vegetable oil. An Associated Press investigation found most earn little or no pay and are routinely exposed to toxic chemicals and other dangerous conditions. Some never go to school or learn to read or write. Others are smuggled across borders and left vulnerable to trafficking or sexual abuse. Again, one thing that's kind of just left out of the media for some reason. It makes no sense to me, but these are the things we should be talking about. And, of course, nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care, right? Many live in limbo with no citizenship and fear being swept up in police raids and thrown into detention. So the AP used U.S. Customs records and the most recently published data from producers, traders, and buyers to trace the fruits of their labor from the processing mills where palm kernels were crushed to the supply chains of many popular kids' cereals, candies, and ice cream sold by Nestle, Unilever, Kellogg's, PepsiCo, and many other leading food companies. Yeah, so I don't need to tell you or go into any further depth here about how awful this is and how deep this goes. But of course, right? So who owns these large companies? Are they involved in media conglomerates? And who's protecting who? And you see, again, yeah, troubled minds indeed, right? This is these are the types of things. You can't politicize it. You've got big money kind of trying to cover it up and not really talk about it and push it to the front of the news cycle. So, yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely 100% there's a conspiracy here. And it involves child labor, human trafficking, and a media complex that doesn't seem to care. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to make this a pressing issue. Instead, we're talking about the runoffs in Georgia, right? We're talking about, like I said, you can't politicize it and make people vote a particular way, then they're not talking about it. So, unfortunate. And it's, again, the world we live in. And, interesting and not interesting and terrible all at the same time. So, all right. Okay, so if you want to be a part of the show, 702-957-1037. We do it this way to include you, transparency and all. Troubledminds.org, and you can join the Discord at the official website there. Click the Discord link and let us know. Terrible, right? Yeah, terrible. It's awful stuff. Okay, so with that said, let's take a quick final break here, and then we'll jump into our last segment. But I'm looking for calls from you guys. So if you have takes on any of this stuff, or you want to know, or you never noticed, or these types of things, I mean, like this is good information, right? This is good stuff, and this is the news people should be talking about, which is why it's a conspiracy, isn't it? I think it really is a conspiracy. I don't think I'm like some special like news maven here that's able to just pluck out the conspiracies. I think you just have to, like cut through the BS that they're trying to like throw in your face every day, and you can see it. I think the longer you watch, the more you see. So let me know. I want to know what you guys think. 702-957-1037. Let's do this quick break, and we will be right back. Are you digging the show? If so, you can support us quite easily and at no additional cost to you if you already have an Amazon Prime account. Since we stream on Twitch every day, all you have to do is link your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, and they give you free games on a monthly basis for your personal use, and also a bonus $5 a month to send to your favorite streamer as a way to bring more people to Twitch. And all you have to do is sync up the two accounts and click subscribe. Thanks for considering us. All right, simple as that, right? Simple as that. All right, let's move on. So that's one of those ones. I think I encourage you to read that if you don't know, and many of us know these things. These are not secrets. I think that's the biggest part. Is that like we call them open secrets, right? And these are terrible things. These are terrible things going on in our world, and they get ignored, unfortunately. So anyway, part of what we do is to kind of bring that to light and remind everybody that hey, there's more important things out there to be focusing on than the garbage narratives they're trying to feed us every day. So here we go. Let's go to businessinsider.com. Now this is another one from China. We shit on China quite a lot, and here's another reason why. Yesterday we talked about Jack Ma. He's a billionaire that's missing in China. He's been missing for a couple weeks now. The founder of Alibaba, and so he's been accused in China of going afoul of their monopolization standards, which is funny to me because of course you don't get to that point without the CCP's help. So a little bit weird. But anyway, so with all of that said, he's missing. He's been missing for 2 weeks. We don't know exactly where he's at. But my take yesterday was he ended up probably getting smuggled out of the country because he knows that China doesn't play. So here we go. Business Insider. China has condemned one of the nation's top bankers to death. That's right, to death, after he was found guilty of accepting $277 million in bribes. Okay, so let's read just a little bit of this. China has sentenced a former finance chairman to death on charges related to bribery, bigamy, and embezzlement. Bigamy, of course, is multiple spouses, marrying multiple people. Okay, so Lai Zhaomin, who has been called China's most corrupt financial official, was investigated in 2018 over his time as the chairman of banking giant China Huarong Asset Management. The Chinese government later found him guilty of accepting $277 million in bribes between 2008 and 2018, according to the court in Tianjin. Zhaomin, quote, endangered national financial security and financial stability, reads the court filings, according to Bloomberg. He confessed to taking bribes in January when he said he kept the money in an apartment but didn't spend a cent. Okay. Does that make sense to anybody? You take a bunch of bribes and you still have all of it? Put it in an apartment and don't spend a cent? Okay. Anyway, something a little fishy there. So the court will confiscate all of Zhaomin's personal assets, including lavish goods like properties, luxury watches, and flashy cars, Bloomberg notes. Capital punishment in the form of lethal injection is typically how the Chinese Communist Party performs executions. Amnesty International estimated that the nation carried out thousands of executions in 2019. Okay, so now with all of this, kind of just looking at this article, and now we know why Jack Ma has disappeared, because he doesn't want to be the next guy in line here. But the bizarre part, and the thing that is puzzling to me, not just about this, but just the world we live in, is that the way these international laws, these business laws at the highest levels, the way they're written, right? It's they're written in a particular way, and then they hire these like high-powered lawyers to get around all of the regulations and shit, right? So it's state-sponsored corruption is what it really is, because, they allow these loopholes to these big companies, but me, we're not allowed. We're not part of that club, so we can't buy our way out of it. So this is the unfortunate part here, right? So they encourage them to dodge all of the rules and regulations by giving them loopholes and shit. It's how it happens here in the West. But then look what happens. So clearly he pissed somebody off at some point, because I'm sure, you think he's the only guy in China taking bribes? I mean, really? Are we being real? Are we being, come on now. And if it's a capital punishment of taking bribes, I mean, $277 million is a lot of money. But do you think when you're dealing with a company where you could just take that much in bribes, that it's a lot of money compared to what that company's worth? Yeah. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit weird, isn't it? So I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Jack Ma disappeared. Did they get him, or did he get away? I think that's the question at this point. We'll keep an eye on that as it develops. I don't know anything about this dude here in the article. Like I said, he pissed somebody off. You piss somebody off in the wrong way in one of these countries, and you end up. Yeah. He's lucky it's going to happen in a official sanctioned way, and not the disappear into the night way, the Jamal Khashoggi way. So anyway, just a take on that, a hot take. All right, let's look at this. Let's go back to some artificial intelligence, like we usually do, and we've talked about this quite a bit recently with the information coming from Boston Dynamics. But check this out. This is reported by Wired.com, and this is today, January 5th. Watch a robot dog learn how to deftly fend off a human. Kick over this robot and it will quickly right itself, not because someone told it how, but because it taught itself to overcome the embarrassment. Okay, watch this. Now, just going to leave this up for a sec so you guys can see. This robot dog, 4 legs, of course, kind of looks like you would expect a robot dog, except missing all the cuteness. But it gets pulled over by a person, and it's able to get up and right itself. It gets kicked over and tumbles and goes into a roll, and then is able to also right itself in that situation. So it's we're teaching these things. We're teaching the dog, the hound crew of the future how to fight people, right? How to there's no easy way around this. So George Knapp actually tweeted this, and that's where I saw this article, which everybody knows George Knapp is the guy who broke the Bob Lazar story, and the journalist in Las Vegas. But he put in his tweet, now imagine this cute little thing with razor sharp jaws. Yeah, right? And a pack of them. And they've been downloaded from the Matrix, or whatever the mainframe is. Let's say the mainframe, so we don't go afoul of the algorithms here. It's been downloaded from the mainframe for a pack of these things to bring you into custody. Oh, good luck. Okay, anyway. Just wanted to point that out. I thought it was interesting that we're celebrating our own demise. Here's one getting pushed over by a stick. This dog-like thing gets pushed over by a stick and is able to get up pretty quickly. And there's no problem here. There's no problem here, right? So teaching them how to deal with any kind of human stuff. And so of course, AI is doing its thing, and we could read some of this article, but we know the drill. We know the drill on what's going on here. Okay, here we go. Oh, here's another one. This actually, I should have had this with part of the other Julian Assange thing. Australia says Assange is free to return home if U.S. extradition appeal fails. Interesting, right? So now we have not just Australia saying they'll take him back. We have Mexico offering some security for him as well in a political asylum. So maybe if he does get released on bail of some sort, maybe he's able to return and kind of live some life of freedom. Anyway, like I said, I don't know if you have takes on that. You guys want to talk about any of this stuff? 702-957-1037. Give me a call. Put you on the show. And what do you feel about Assange? I'd love to hear your guys' take on Assange versus Snowden, why one or the other may or may not deserve whatever they get, the electric chair or life in prison, or to be pardoned and to walk free. I don't know. Now, speaking of animals, this actually was supposed to be the companion piece for the animals. So now we're teaching the, there you go. Astral Travel says I need a bigger stick to push over the robot dogs, right? So what happened? Did we disconnect? Yeah, probably. Let's see. Anybody still out there? I think the phone line dropped. Yes, I think so. Let's see. All right, let's mute that and let's bring it back up. Okay. All right, so anyway, this is reported by the AP News, and American Airlines is grounding emotional support animals. Now, so of course, right, so we're training the robot dogs to track us down and climb up the tree and drag us back to custody. But American Airlines is banning emotional support animals in a move that will force most owners to pay extra if they want their pets to travel with them. The airline said Tuesday that it will allow animals in the cabin free of charge only if they are trained service dogs. The change takes effect Monday, although passengers who already bought tickets can fly with a companion animal until February 1st. The move follows a similar decision by Alaska Airlines and is likely to be copied by other carriers. The U.S. Transportation Department cleared the way for the crackdown against companion animals last month. Now, I don't know if anybody's flown recently. I haven't because I hate flying. But I did notice the last time I flew that there were a lot of animals on board. And it was this emotional support critter, right? And so you start to see articles of people bringing pigs on board and their llamas and their goats and these things. And come on, guys. There's got to be a point where we're like, no. Right. You can take down any robot dog with a bucket of water. What's up, Quint 67? I don't know about that. Until you can't. Until they start making version 2.0 that are waterproof. But yeah. So anyway, what do you guys think about this? The emotional support animals. Do you think there should be a limit, or if you've got a pack of sheep and some wild ponies, you should be able to take them on the plane with you? Again, right? The upside down world we live in. We're training the robot dog predators of the world, and then we're cutting us off from our emotional support animals. Where are we at time wise? Okay, we're about done, but let's make some time for this. Let's see. What do we want? Type in the chat. Do we want to do California power, or do we want to do some nuclear stuff, some nuclear power? Actually, I think it's all related. So let's just start here. Let's go to the LA Times. Blind the dog with silly strings, says Often Frozen. Maybe. All right, let's go to LA Times. Now, this is this one's pretty good. Does anybody have one of those smart thermostats? I do, and it is unbelievably inconvenient, and it pisses me off, and it always kind of goes rogue at the wrong times. When it's coldest or hottest, and like I lived for 6 months in this damn house with because that's when they reconnected it. With always being slightly uncomfortable, either being a little bit too hot or a little bit too cold, right? Like that's just the way this thing rolls, because it's saving me energy, right? It's saving me money. Yeah, it's saving me money. Anyway, here we go from the LA Times. California is scrambling to avoid blackouts. Your refrigerator could help. You see where this is going? All right, so. As California works to build a future without fossil fuels, electricity generation isn't just getting cleaner, it's getting smaller and nimbler. Big power plants and far-flung transmission lines are increasingly being joined by programmable thermostats, solar-charged batteries, and even electric cars as key tools for balancing supply and demand. Okay, which means very much like the smart thermostats where they keep my house perpetually uncomfortable, they're going to start doing it to cars. So they have programmable thermostats, solar charged batteries, which they're going to start taking your energy to give to other people in your own batteries, and even electric cars, as key tools for balancing supply and demand. All right. So these technologies currently play a small role, but supporters say they can help California avoid a repeat of the rolling blackouts that afflicted a few 100,000 homes and businesses when a regional heat wave struck last August, which we talked about when it happened. They were too short-sighted to realize it gets hot in August in California. So anyway, the type of extreme weather that's becoming disturbingly common as the world heats up because of the burning of fossil fuels. Okay. Oh, geez. All right. All right. Anyway, okay. Let's scroll down to the bottom. Let's cut to the chase. Basically, so instead of not just having the mainframe attack your thermostat now, and I hacked mine, by the way, so now it stays exactly where I tell it to stay, and it stays put. Damn it! I hacked it. They're not connecting it. They're not allowed in my house anymore. That's it. It's if I say this many degrees, that's what I mean, and that's where it stays until I change my mind. But anyway, here we go. One of the biggest players in Oakland based Ohm Connect, which pays households to use less electricity when the grid is stressed and sells the aggregated savings into energy markets. Last month, the startup announced a $100 million investment from Sidewalk Infrastructure Partners, which is spun out of Google parent company Alphabet Incorporated. Basically, Ohm Connect plans to do a lot more of what it's already doing. The company already has 150,000 active customers in California, some of whom give Ohm Connect control over their smart devices, and some of whom manually reduce energy use when prompted. I would do that, no problem, if it would give it back. It doesn't give it back, right? Like if it suggests, hey, I'll ease off, but holy shit, like you can't. So if it disconnects from the internet, which mine did, I couldn't do anything. It had a mind of its own and was like just pissing me off. So yeah, I hacked it. Screw off, NV Energy. If you're out there listening, screw off. Okay, so anyway, the company warns customers when it's going to power down their devices and gives them a chance to opt out. Okay, and not only that, they're talking about turning off your refrigerator. Yeah. So let's see. Where is it? Let's see. Manually reduce. Okay, it's common for customers to make $50 to $100 over the course of the year. So that's how much they're going to save you. $50 to $100 over the course of a year, right? And you're able to, be uncomfortable perpetually. I'm sorry. To me, that's not worth $100 a year. I'm sorry. You call me a criminal. The influx of funding will help Ohm Connect sign up new customers in California and outfit them with smart thermostats, as well as smart plugs that can be used to temporarily power down appliances, such as refrigerators, which can go without electricity for up to 4 hours without their contents spoiling. All right. So now tell me this. How will they know exactly how long the food in your fridge can go without spoiling? Right? Up to 4 hours, they say. But what happens if they have a rolling blackout situation and they have control of your smart refrigerator now? What do you think they're going to do? You think they're more concerned about the grid and the political embarrassment that they can't get their shit straight, or your fridge full of food? You tell me. You tell me. We'll get to the nuclear stuff another time. We're kind of at the end of this. If anybody has takes on this, you want to be part of the show, you know what to do. You know how to be on this show. 702-957-1037. Does anybody have a smart thermostat out there, or any of this smart home stuff, and has it pissed you off like it's pissed me off? I'd like to know, because yeah, it's becoming what would you say? It's becoming annoying. Extremely annoying, if you ask me. Yes. Yeah. Often Frozen says, come on, nuclear fusion, you can do it. Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do some nuclear fusion. Supervike says government knows best. And I think that's the problem here. That's exactly what I'm talking about, is that, all right, so if my house is perpetually uncomfortable, right, I'm wearing a jacket, or I'm like stripping down to like my skivvies in the summertime because it's so damn hot in here because they've hijacked my thermostat. And suddenly they're going to do that to my refrigerator now too, and everything else in my car. So now imagine electric cars, right? So how do they know how much you need to drive tomorrow based on your electric car? They're going to just shut off your charging cycle tonight because they're like, well, it's a little bit hot, so we're going to just shut that shit off. And how's that going to affect your commute tomorrow? I'm telling you, this is like the dumbest thing ever. Just allowing the algorithms to take control of everything. Like I said, once they start taking away my warm shower and my cold beer, I got a damn problem. And we're kind of getting there, aren't we? It's getting close. Couple comments here. More coal plants. It says Superbike. Fucking right. Make some more coal plants, damn it. Nuclear says 40s Ark. Maybe. We'll get to. I'll pull up nuclear in a sec. Axel Steele says my understanding of the Chinese guy is that he was playing mostly with government money and was receiving bribes as a kickback to make bad investments. Basically, he was taking bribes to lose government money, so they were upset. Yeah, exactly right. So imagine if he had actually been a good steward of the government money he was taking bribes for. Then he'd still be in business, wouldn't he? There'd be no problem. There's no problem here. He'd be still in business. So yeah, Astral Travel says nope, nothing smart here. I agree. I hacked it. I took that MFR offline and I hacked it, and it stays where I tell it to stay, like to every degree. It's not moving. If they're going to come in here and try and force me, we got another problem. Right? But this is what I'm saying. So at what point do you trade enough of your own comfort that you're paying for with your own money for the state to tell you, nope, sorry, Michael Strange, you need to sweat some more this week because we don't want to invest in more whatever it is. Anyway, there's nothing smart in my house, says Quint67. I kind of agree. Nothing in mine either, except for myself. Actually, not even myself. The only thing smart in my house is Mrs. Strange. That's the only thing smart in this house. Okay, let's go. Let's do a little bit more. We'll do some more of this nuclear stuff. So kind of the what I was getting at with that to other stuff is this is the way of the future, right? So instead of building more coal power plants or whatever's going on, right, in the name of sustainability, this is it, right? This is the new future. This is reported by worldnuclearnews.org, and construction of new Chinese power plant begins. Yeah. Guess what this is? That's right. It's a nuclear power plant. In May 2015, the National Energy Administration approved the project to carry out site protection and related demonstration work. On 2nd September last year, the executive meeting of the State Council approved, blah, blah, blah. It is a nuclear power plant, guys. You can read this. I'm going to link it. A lot of minutia here to read that you're not going to be interested in because it's not really that interesting. But that's the most important thing. Construction of new Chinese power plant begins. The first safety-related concrete has been poured for the nuclear island of Unit 1 at the San'ao nuclear power plant in Zhejiang province. And China General Nuclear has announced, CGN, a total of 6 Chinese-designed Hualong-1 pressurized water reactors are planned for the site. All right, which is, that's cool, right? Except for all the the nuclear power plants that keep just exploding the world over, right? You get a flood, you get a this, you get an earthquake, and then suddenly, you get Chernobyl here, there, and everywhere. Is that the future? Is that clean, sustainable energy? I guess maybe. So not only that, so I was looking at some of this nuclear stuff. SciTech Daily, this is brand new as well, and they say this. Now we're building new plants, new nuclear power plants in China. Of course, I'm sure they're doing it here because it's clean energy. Want cheaper nuclear energy? Turn the design process into a game for artificial intelligence. This is a headline from SciTech Daily. And so I didn't know this, but apparently this is a thing. Nuclear energy provides more carbon-free electricity in the United States than solar and wind combined, making it a key player in the fight against climate change. Climate change. Greta, where are you when we need you? But the U.S. nuclear fleet is aging, and the operators are under pressure to streamline their operations to compete with coal and gas-fired plants. One of the key places to cut costs is deep in the reactor core, where energy is produced. If the fuel rods that drive reactions there are ideally placed, they burn less fuel and require less maintenance. Through decades of trial and error, nuclear engineers have learned to design better layouts to extend the life of pricey fuel rods. Now, artificial intelligence is poised to give them a boost. How could this go wrong, right? All right, here's another one. So if you don't like big nuclear reactors, well, you're in luck because there's small nuclear reactors now. Anybody interested in a pocket nuclear reactor for when you need energy in a pinch? This is reported by Popular Mechanics, and we'll finish up with this one. And then, tiny nuclear reactors can save American energy. They pack 10% of the power of a full-size nuclear plant in just 1% of the space. All right. Yeah, often touted as more flexible, a powerful alternative to renewables, nuclear's advantages haven't outrun its dogged volatility. We associate nuclear reactors more often with disaster than innovation, but as the United States takes more coal and gas plants offline, engineers are hoping fresh reactor concepts could redeem nuclear stature in American energy. Bigger is no longer better. The future, experts say, looks like multi-speed nuclear energy, a combination of traditional large plants and smaller, safer megawatt reactors. And yeah, here's your little pocket reactor. Is anybody dying to get one of these? Again, long article, in depth. I encourage you to read it. Popular Mechanics typically does pretty good stuff, but I guess you know, your new scale tiny nuclear reactor from Popular Mechanics. Is anybody ready for one of these? I'm not. I'm not doing this. I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, okay, check it out, Michael Strange. We are going to keep your house perpetually uncomfortable, but here's a pocket nuclear reactor. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, this shit is just not. It doesn't seem right, does it? This doesn't seem right. It seems like there's got to be a better way than this. There's just got to be a better way, right? Let's see. 40 says, "We're pocket nuclear." Yeah, pocket nuclear. Superbike says, "Is the pocket nuke in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" Exactly. Astral Travel says, "Bigger is better." There you go. There you go. Axel Steel. Small reactors are much safer and more reliable. All right, you first. After you've had one for a few years, let me know if you haven't had any unfortunate incidents. Then I'll consider. I'm going to wait. I'll be a nuclear Luddite. No problem. I'll wait. No sweat. Okay, so anyway, we're done. This is again conspiracy news. We do this 5 days a week. So the bad news is we're about to be done. The good news is we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. And don't worry if you have articles that we need to look at, just send them over. Join the Discord. Send them over in email. I saw that Chinese businessman one from Axel on Twitter. So share it on Twitter. Share it with me on Twitter. There's like 100 ways to get a hold of me. Please do that and send me articles you want us to talk about, and we'll do it. Tomorrow we're going to be back for Weird Wednesday. So we're going to do some interesting news tomorrow. I've already picked out some select good news titles for that. So we're going to be there. That's what we'll be doing. And tonight we have Troubled Minds, the OG podcast, the OG show that spawned it all, the one that started it all. I tell you what. So we're going to be we'll be tonight on Troubled Minds at 8 p.m. and we're going to be doing I Don't Know Yet. You like that? It's about less than 3 hours to showtime, and I have no freaking idea what we're going to do. And sometimes that's how it works, right? I'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do nuclear power, right? Or maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll do reptilian aliens. I have no idea. If you're interested and you want to come check it out, hang out with us. 8 p.m. Pacific, troubledminds.org, and we'll be streaming right on the front page. But anyway, we're done. We're finished for right now. So let's play this. This is a thank you to the people that have supported the show. There's a new way to support the show, which I keep spamming in the thing, so I don't have to try and explain it badly. But this is a thank you to those people so far. I appreciate it a lot. It does cost money, and like I said, one day I have a twinkle in my eye to break even, and that would be amazing. So here we go. We're going to play this, and it's on loop. Yep, good. Okay, let's play this. And as we finish, let's say thank you to these people. All right. Let's finish this up. Where is it? Where's my list? Oh, there it is. There's my list. Thank you to these folks. This show is funded directly by a decentralized freedom squad that answers only to ourselves. Corporate and political interests can jump off. AJ Dare, Alien Nichan, Arc Platinum, Axel Steel 3, Dark Devious, FGC Spiral, Ident, Lizzie Dags, Monochromatic, Nikki Nix, Noble Kal-El also boosting the Discord server. Thank you for that, Noble Kal-El. Often Frozen, Quint67, Supervike 1, and Satan Claus. That would be Joe from Florida. So thank you again, guys, for supporting the show. It does help keep things going. It helps me not go bankrupt. I'm doing it myself. I appreciate it a lot. Every little bit helps, and like I said, one day we'll get to break even, and I will be thrilled. Right now we're finished. If you want to be, if you're not sick of me yet, there's more tonight. 8 p.m. Pacific, Troubled Minds. Come join us over there. A little bit longer show, and we talk about some other interesting, different things. So hang tight for that. We'll see you in a few hours. For now, this has been Conspiracy News with Michael Strange. We will be back tonight at 8 for Troubled Minds, and also tomorrow again, 4 p.m. Pacific, for some more conspiracy news. But it's going to be Weird Wednesday, so we're gonna do our thing. All right, have a great evening, afternoon, guys, and we will see you shortly at Troubled Minds, 8 p.m. Pacific. See you there. Thanks for hanging out.